All right. I reckon we're live now. I don't know if y'all were able to hear me because for some reason I can't hear myself through my headphones anymore, uh, which is sort of strange to me. But it's all right. It's cool as long as y'all can hear me. I'm not even on my page right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get in there and check that out and see if I can get on my page and be able to see who all's coming in the stream as of now. Uh, I've gave Stonebender a link, but for some reason he hadn't been able to hook up with me, and I've gave Reggatto Bonner a link also, but I don't know what's going on. Nobody's been able to get in with me, which doesn't much surprise me. I think my channel's been is being, I don't really know what you call it, censored or something to that effect right now. It's kind of weird. It's all kind of strange. Uh, because I'm definitely not getting the views that I used to get, which is weird. Because I don't guess I've done anything to make everybody mad at me. I've actually had about 10 people unsubscribe, which is all good. I ain't worried about it. I can't even get on my page. I don't know what is going on here. I've had so many weird problems with this thing. Okay, there it is. All right. I was able to hear that my voice is on there, but it only works when I cut the volume on. Does that echo, guys, when I do that? There's a little bit of a delay. Here you go. I'm gonna put you in there, Stonebender. I'm just gonna drop the link right here in the chat and let you grab it up. Did you open it for me? Yeah. What is it? A hot one? Sure feels hot. Oh, sorry. I forgot I was online. No echo here. Cool. They must have changed the setup because I hadn't been going on here a lot. You're right, guys. I don't know why, but there's a little bit of a delay in my microphone, which is makes it weird to talk. So I'm just going to kill the volume on this. I hope everybody's doing all right. I've took a little break away from it. I had to step back from, the effect in general. People, I mean, not that there's, I can understand, but after day in and day out of 6 to 7 months of it, it was really getting to me. So I just stepped back for a minute, and I'm back though. I'm back. I hope everybody's well. I'm actually going to be on Awakened Saints channel at 10:30 tonight. But I wanted to come in and talk because there is breaking news. I don't know if anybody's noticed the people that are in the room right now, but Stonebender's name is now Stone Space Bender. It's no longer just Stone Bender. I remember it as one full word. That looks so strange to me that I figured that we would get him on here. Me and him's been trying to get together for a while, and I'm I'm waiting on him. I'm hoping he can get his hangouts figured out, and we'll have Stonebender on here. Oh, Candied Cupcakes is in here. You got my notification. Well, that's good because I hadn't been getting any. People hadn't been getting my notifications, but I hadn't been putting Mandela effect in the description because a lot of them wasn't much about the Mandela effect, even though my channel is based on that because that's what started this great awakening of mine. If you would have talked to me a year ago, none of these things that that I'm seeing now, I wouldn't have been talking about any of those type of things. I'd probably been talking about music, movies, uh, all kinds of different things, but I would definitely not been talking about that. That movie titles are changing. That you know, the big things in Luke, I'm your father is now instead of he wasn't even his father. No, I'm your father. Oh, come on, guys, what's going on here? And the Statue of Liberty now has her foot kicked way up. That's not normal. So that's another new one for me. But we're waiting on Reggatto. I don't know that he'll make it. Me and him's been having some serious problems getting together. You can't hook up with the Google Hangouts. Huh. Is it your computer, or are you clicking on the link and nothing is happening? Just, let me know as you go. I mean, I ain't no great big hurry. I don't know about everybody else because I didn't really have no plan. I just thought I would go live and talk about the breaking news of Stonebender's name now being Stonebender. Oh, there's Reggatto. All right, Reggatto, I'm gonna drop you one in too. There you go. Hit me up, and let me know if you can't get in Stone. I still want to talk to you. I hadn't never got to talk to you, and I'd love to talk with you. I don't understand why the link ain't working though. That's weird. Let me try to figure out. Well, it's going to be the same. I can't change the link. All I can do is pull it, copy and paste. Is the only thing I've been doing. That's the only way I know to do it. I don't know any way to do it any other way. All right. It looks like Reggatto's going to make it, and hopefully Stonebender can figure out what's going on, and we can get him in here because I ain't never got to talk to him, and I really like him, even though he's no longer the Stonebender that I remember. His picture's even changed. Hopefully he done that. I mean, surely to goodness they're not even changing his picture. But I hadn't been around for a little while. There's weirdness everywhere. That's exactly right, Rain.
Oh, Armor Up's on here.
And Armor Up, look at him sporting a wrench. His picture's the same.
Yeah.
Reggatto's is the same. Let's see, Cowboy's the same. Candy's Cupcakes is different. Of course, I've been away for like a month, so I could just be being a crazy conspiracy theorist, but it's totally possible. No, but so has anybody, Reggatto? Are you able to get in on that Hangout link I dropped in the page, or I don't understand what's going on here, or am I just not able to hear y'all? Are you? I mean, that could be it. I really don't know. Well, since I do have some people in here, the reason that I've asked Reggatto on the page is it seems like, in my opinion, and I'm not going to lie about this could be just being my opinion, that he talks a lot about that he notices these demons in the world, and the way that I think is that they're demonized people. Maybe they're in need of an exorcism. Maybe they're in need of just some godliness, some grace. I don't know. I can't, and I did. It's just the app now. The actual link. Oh, I dropped the link. I'll drop it again in here. I don't really think that. I mean, I know if they get on it, so I will be able to see anybody that clicks into this link, and everybody that's in here. They're all pretty good people. Did you Try that one there, Reggatto. See if that one will work. I clicked the link above. Yeah, Armor Up said it worked for him, but it didn't join. Huh. I don't know. Does anybody have any suggestions on how to get that to work? I can't even figure out how to work my Google Hangouts. I go away from my computer for about a month, and I've forgotten how to work everything. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, new conversation. I have sent you an invitation, Stonebender, to get into a talk with me. And I just sent you one, Reggatto, too, that says, let's chat on Hangout. Here, I'll start the conversation with a link. So you should have one actually in the Hangout now, too. And both of y'all should have an invitation with a Hangout link. Send an email invite. Okay, Reggatto, I can't remember if I've ever sent you an email in real life or not. And we've talked, I don't think we've ever talked on emails. Is your email in your description page, Reggatto, or Stonebender, either one of y'all? It didn't work for them either. See, I'm telling you, I've had such, a tremendous amount of problems with tech in general. I just heard somebody clip in. Or something happened. I heard something, guys. I don't know. Stonebender says he's in, but I don't hear nothing. So I guess I have to turn the sound up. This is so weird. This ain't the way nothing was working a month ago. Everything's completely changed. Okay, Stonebender, are you in here? Okay, it says he's in, but I don't. Are you here, buddy? Oh, he's into the Hangouts. All right, let me send you a link in there, and let's see if he can get in on that. Well, as you know, I don't think I'm totally boring, but I'm not the most lovely voice and what y'all want to hear, I'm sure. Even though, I reckon I have taken a bit of what is a controversial stance in today's America, which is being a Christian and loving your God is evidently the opposite of what you're supposed to be in this world nowadays. And my problem is, you know what? A lot of Christians out there, they are very judgmental. I'm not that way. Okay, I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care what you are. I'm not going to judge you. But if I think you're demonized, I probably ain't going to tell you about it. But I'm just not going to go around you because a lot of people, I truly believe, are maybe in the need of just maybe they're just being influenced by the world, but I seriously think there's an uptick in demonization in this world right now. I don't know how truthful that is. I could be wrong, but it just seems to me there's an uptick in demonization. And there's just a lot of things going on right now in this time, and a lot of people, they think that it's wonderful and interesting to be alive in this time. To me, it's stressful, and it's not that I'm so worried about what's going to happen when I die or anything like that. Is I love my creator above everything, but I love mankind also, and it's saddening to see the route that everybody is taking at this point in my life. I'm noticing all of the darkness, and it's just saddening to me. All right, looks like we've got Stonebender now. I can hear you, brother.
Hey, what's going on? You hear that? You picking that up?
Yeah, man. You're on here. We finally got together.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks, Brandon. Thank you.
Oh man, it's good to talk to you. I hadn't, I've always wanted to get you on here and talk to you and actually get to hear some of your views on things. And that's what I was just talking about. I guess it's not cool to be a Christian, but I don't care what anybody is. That's not for me to judge. You can be a Muslim, an atheist. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. That's between you and whoever when your life ends. So, anyways, what's been going on with you, buddy? It's been a while.
Not much, man. This and that. This and
Has
that.
there this and that? So I don't even know where are you from? It seems like I hear a bit of an accent.
Yeah, it's this stupid New York accent I have, probably from living here my whole life.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I actually had
Yeah,
a best friend that was a New Yorker.
Cool, man. Well, I'm upstate a little bit. I'm in the mountains here in Kingston, New York, in the Hudson Valley, Catskill Mountains. So I'm about an hour and a half from the city, but we all get that little bit of influence from New York City. New York City is the only thing that New York State seems to care about.
Right, right.
So it's pretty beautiful up here, man. But the hustle and bustle of New York City is definitely not for me. Maybe for a day, but you can't even walk into Manhattan without spending $150 just to get in and out.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
So it's beautiful, but it's terrible.
Right,
at the
right.
same
I
time,
hear you.
But
Well,
go ahead.
no, I mean, well, you're the guest on the show, but I was, just going to ask you some of the basic questions,
Sure.
like the normal things. What brought you into the Mandela effect community? What did you first notice, or how did you come into this?
Well, the very first thing I noticed was pre-Mandela effect community. Ago, I was at the library, and I was waiting online, and I saw a pile of books that they keep them in a basket, the ones that are coming back in before they put them on the shelves. And Berenstain Bears was sitting there, and I looked at the cover, and I was just like, I was like, what is it spelled like that for? But then it was my turn, and I didn't think anything of it. I was up at the front. I think I was ordering something or bringing something back, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I was actually I was this kind of relates to it in my personal life. I wasn't gonna bring this up. I didn't talk about this on Cowboys live streams or Jason's at all yet, and I don't know if it relates to it at all. My personal experience, but I had been involved in a sort of a relationship with a friend of mine, and she was a longtime friend for 20 years. And the way it worked out is we just we got together, and neither of us really expected it. And before a few weeks went by, and I was just like, I was thinking about that beforehand, like a year or two beforehand, like, what if it seems like we should, be, I never expressed it or anything, but anyway, what happened was it didn't work out. It didn't work out for me or her. And she ended up getting back together with an ex-boyfriend, and, crushed, man. I was totally crushed. I never felt that really before in my life, and I'm 45 now, and it was just losing a friend and losing a potential, partner,
Right.
and stuff was just really, really a blow to me. And it wasn't only a couple weeks later where I was on YouTube and I saw something about a Mandela effect. I clicked on it. I've been a long time conspiracy analyst, probably started right after high school. And I started looking at these things these people were talking about, like this and that. And I'm like, that's JCPenney's. That's not how you spell JCPenney's. And I didn't think much of it. But I started getting into the geography changes, and I heard about the interview with the vampire, which is an anchor memory for me, as well as the placement of South America. And I put the phone down. I was like, all right, this is crazy. I'm going to put this internet down because I'm not in a state right now to be deciding what's real and what's not, because of this thing that happened in my life. And I spun my globe around, which I've had for 20 years. And South America was in the wrong place. So I said, you know what? What is going on? This is my reality. This isn't the phone anymore. This is my book. So I got my book that I read twice, Interview with the Vampire. And it said Interview with the Vampire. And I was pretty much flabbergasted, man,
Right.
And after that, after seeing something in the physical world that, that is not connected to Wi-Fi, as far as we know.
Yeah.
I just got into it full speed, man, full throttle, and I didn't even start chatting until maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe on different YouTube channels. I found a bunch I subscribed to. And since then I've weeded them out. Some people that I just, I can't really subscribe to everyone. And back in 2008, I accepted Jesus Christ as my savior. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of late experience, and it came from seeing, knowing about conspiracy for so long, reading about it, meeting people that were working for companies that were somewhat involved in it, and knowing that this is how the world works. I got into the esoteric side of it, and the symbolism and the Satanism, and then more stuff comes out on YouTube and the internet. And I was like, that's it, man. This is it. What holy book talks about this stuff? What holy book talks about prophecies and the time we're in? Well, as far as I know, it's not the Buddhist texts. I've dabbled in other religions and stuff. And I said, well, you know what? It's got to be the Bible. So I was like real curious as to what is in the Bible and who's the protagonist, so to speak, in the Bible. It's Jesus Christ. So that was pre-Mandela effect. And that kind of led me into, some channels that I just felt like I didn't, maybe only agreed with 10 or 20% of what they were saying as regards to the Mandela effects. I've kind of weeded them out. And then, I found, well, one day I was chatting, and I guess it started with Cowboy. He invited me into his chat, and I was just so honored to be hooked up with like-minded people. I feel like YouTube's like my Facebook for conspiracy theorists, Christians, because I don't have Facebook, and I never will at this point. But I got way into the effect, and tried to point it out to different people in my life. And finally, that was about 2 years ago, finally a few weeks ago. And I brought this up on Jason McFall's live stream one night. It kind of came to a head with me and my friends I've known for like 20 years. It came to a head because, I feel like to wake people up to the world that we live in, regardless of its Christianity, its Mandela effect, it's whatever, is at this time, I think, is the only thing to talk about. It's the only important thing. So I'm one of those guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys in chat room and a lot of you content creators can relate to this. I'm just a guy that nobody wants to talk to, man. Now you guys are stuck with me. Stuck with me.
Well, I tell you what, it's very controversial to even be a Christian nowadays. And, growing up in Tennessee, it's very strange to me that people don't, love their God, or that they would even dabble in Satanism. But let me tell you how rampant it is. My sister just recently moved, And when she moved into the house, there was some weird crawl spaces and things. So she found some stuff that people forgot that was living there before, and it has to do with black magic. Praying to Lucifer, and it's just it's mind boggling to me that anybody, if they can believe in the devil, why then why would they want to go to the dark side? I just don't, I don't understand that. If you can believe in the devil, then why wouldn't you believe in Jesus Christ, and try to get to heaven? It doesn't even make sense to me.
I know, man. I think that about Satanism, it's like maybe I don't know who that was that left those books behind or who they were really, but you have the regular, Satanists that have organizations and feel like it's maybe a metaphor for certain things, or there's people that take it quite literally. But I think that all those people are just well, first of all, I think they're being deceived. I think it has a lot to do with ego
Right.
and some maybe false sense of power that they get, worldly power, maybe even a little bit when they do any kind of rituals that they do. But I think that the regular old Church of Satan people that have addresses or websites, Facebook things or whatever, they don't know anything, because the people that really come up in the secret societies and the esoteric side that these regular run-of-the-mill Satanists don't know about, those are the ones that know exactly what they're doing and know exactly how to do it, because they're brought through these secret schools and secret teachings. And the key word is secret. It's not just for any metalhead to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, nothing against metalheads, but it seems to go hand in hand with Satanism. I used to love metal. I actually don't listen to much music. I played music. I played bass, drums, and the whole thing with Hollywood music industry and backmasking with music. It's just like I don't even want to listen to it anymore. Now I didn't even want to play it at this point.
Oh yeah, I know. Me too. It's like, it kind of sucks too, because I really love music, man. I'm actually a musician, but with everything that I know about it now, I'm even skeptical to listen to any modern Christian rock if it's not something pretty old that I just feel like maybe could not been infiltrated by, like you were talking about, backmasking or any of these things that could maybe try to bring in negative influences into my life or even into my mind, because it's not enough that they're trying to poison us with everything they're feeding us, and everything else. They want to poison our minds and our soul, and get us on the path to lead us to hell. It's just the way it seems to me.
Sure, man. It sounds like you're having a similar experience then. It's just like there's a passion that you had for music, and it's, at least for me anyway, it's just hard to find that again with, and then there's other factors too, like, you get older, your buddies, go to bed at 9, or they're all wifed up and can't come out to play, so there's other factors too. But for me,
So,
recently,
how long has it been since you learned, started your awakening? That's the way I like to look at it, because, it seems like it really goes in stages. I started out with the Mandela effect, and then I just really, being a religious person, I've been religious my whole life, but I really, I hate to even admit it. I don't think I was fully committed, even though I was a believer. I wasn't fully
hmm
committed to my own religion until I've noticed just all of the evil and the Satanism, and even just the symbolism going on in all of Hollywood. How long have you really since you've noticed? Have you noticed that there's more of an awakening going on in you since the Mandela effect?
yeah, I think so. I think so. I definitely feel that way. I mean, the biggest one for me would have to be um, the scriptures, and that awakening was probably the most powerful awakening that I've had in my life around 2008. Because I had no background whatsoever. My family didn't grow up in any denomination. We never went to church, and you know, I just had no idea. I always thought since high school, I've always pondered it and thought pretty deeply about it. But I didn't have any focus. I didn't read the Bible. I didn't know what it said. I just thought about it from my own brain kind of organically and thought about how amazing life was. There's all these questions, you know.
Right.
But that background in conspiracy that I had, I think that led me directly to the gospel, like I was saying. Like it just led me there, and that started. I would say that, you know, I thought about this before too, and I would say that it started with this Rob Zombie song. I think it was, I don't know what it was called, but he had a clip back in the early 90s of, and he would say like the New World Order in this song and show pictures in a video of like George Bush. And, and I'm like, what is this New World Order? What is this about? You know, because George Bush Sr. always creeped me out.
Weird guy.
This Bohemian Grove thing. Yeah. Yeah, I found, you know, some images of the different presidents and world leaders at Bohemian Grove. And the first one I saw, it was, and you can still find this today, it's proven to be not a photoshopped image. It's Bill Clinton. I don't think Reagan was in there, but
I know what you're talking about. I've actually seen that picture. It's got 4 or 5 people that are well-known politicians.
Yeah, they're all dressed in red, these red cloaks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? Bohemian Grove, like Moloch, like what is this about? What do these guys meet and do this, you know? And so I started getting into this idea of the New World Order and looking into that, which led me, when I was younger, led me to Alex Jones. Now, I can see how, now at this point, I can see how he is most likely a part of the system. You know, I've thought that for years now, and how could he not be, really? Because Joseph Stalin always said, one of his quotes was, the best way to control the opposition is to be the opposition.
Yep.
And that makes a lot of sense to me. So, you know, whether he was integrated along the way or he was in it from the beginning, you know, he's the go-to guy.
I'm sort of torn on Alex Jones. I'm not going to lie, even though a lot of people really, truly think he's controlled opposition. I'm starting to really think that maybe he really was Bill Hicks at one time, and he maybe was approached by this New World Order and showed some things that really freaked him out, scared him. And the only way he could get out was to fake his death. And, you know, being a comedian, the only way that he really knows how to get to people, and you know, he is a showman, but he knows what's going on at heart. And you know, I'm torn to whether that's the real truth of what happened, or if he's just straight up controlled opposition and he gives you bits and pieces and then tries to confuse you in the end. You know, I really don't know. But it's very possible that maybe he's seen some things that freaked him out, so he faked his death and decided to really try to become a, you know, conspiracy theorist full time. I don't know.
Maybe, man. You know, I never really thought about it like that, you know? I mean, I guess the bigger you get, the harder it is to become a target, because it'll be obvious to everyone. Like if he gets killed, it's like, you know, he'll be martyred, basically. So maybe they let him slide. Maybe they let him go, but it doesn't mean that they don't have full access to listening to every single email, every single device and phone call in his operation, wherever his offices are or whatever. You know, so maybe they just sit back and watch and listen. But the one thing I can't really justify, I think, for me personally, is the, you know, Alex Jones. You know, you got QAnon now, and QAnon just seems like a camp for conspiracy theorists who lean towards conservatism, and they don't just vote and then forget about it for 4 years and vote again. There's a large amount, probably the majority of that voting bloc would probably do that, but there are some conservatives, I think, who vote and then watch and follow things closely. And now you have QAnon, who's being followed and watched by, he's got all these different coded things coming out, and some of them not so coded, and you kind of have to decode them. And it feels to me like a game. It feels like a game to keep people busy, to kick the can down the road. Because if you think about it, everybody wants to have that hope that all these people will be brought to justice. All these people that do terrible things in our world, and our, national leadership, to innocent people, to kids. Everyone wants to see justice for those people. So I think that hope is something that is being sold by, QAnon. It's almost like a hope that's being sold by him to people who pay attention, not just everybody, but the people who pay attention. And I feel like if I were to have a prediction for that, I would say after the next election, I think Trump's going to get it again because he was destined to. And I think that QAnon's going to just dry up and disappear after that next election because his relevancy becomes irrelevant when you don't have to have someone voted in again. And the other reason I believe that is because, let's say you have a QAnon, let's say he is real and he drops some information in months from now, and that really leads to indictments and arrests, and the swamp starts getting drained or whatever. Is Donald Trump and QAnon going to reverse the Book of Revelations and what that says about what happens in the time that we're in? Because I want to see those people brought to justice too, but the ultimate justice, as we know, and a lot of listeners of your channel know, is the sovereignty and the majesty of Jesus Christ and what he'll do and what God will do at the end, because he knows what these people have done.
Right. And you know what the thing is, a lot of people where they're torn at is in the way that they look at prophecy. Some people believe that prophecy is a forewarning of what can be, and then some believe that prophecy is what is going to be. It's not what can be, it's what's going to happen. So, it really has to do with the way with you look at that. And, kind of the way I look at it is what it's going to be, because if you disagree with that, you're sort of disagreeing with what the Bible is teaching you in a way, is kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm sold on, man, is the scriptures. I'm 100% sold on that. I would say I'm 100% sold on the Mandela effect too, but maybe only, 30 or so percent of the changes. I think that a lot of the changes, to be honest, I think a good amount of them are mismemory. And I think a lot of them are people just focusing on things that we wouldn't normally focus on. You know what I mean? Like if you look at every inch of something, let's say it's Mount Rushmore or something like that. You're going to see maybe not new things every time, but how many of us pre-Mandela effect knew every inch of the Statue of Liberty or every inch of Mount Rushmore or every single word and shape of a letter on every single product? Not too many people. Some of those things absolutely have changed, but I think that to focus on that is almost missing the point. It's good to wake new people up to it, but
agreed 100%. I know where you're going with this before you even go there, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I really believe that a certain amount of them are not true, or people seeing, like, say, you're looking at every inch of Google Earth or maps or something like that. You're seeing stuff that not everybody knows about. Like, I can't say that I know what every bug looks like in this world. There's millions or possibly billions of different varieties and subspecies of insects. And when you start looking online and you're seeing all these different creatures and animals and sea life, it's like, unless you're a marine biologist, man, I don't know. There's some weird looking sea creatures, you know.
Right. But I
So I
think
think I think that's just human nature, and it's fun. But it's almost like it's its own distraction to me. So a lot of these things do matter as far as the changes with the Mandela effect, but what really matters is the changes to scripture, I think.
yeah, I mean, I believe what you're really getting at is maybe that what this was trying to do is wake people up to the fact that we're in them last days and that we need to try to focus on God more and quit worrying about these things that are of this world. Is I mean, that's what I gotten out of it. You know, originally, I mean, as soon as I noticed my scripture had changed, I mean, it was like a aha moment. Okay, now I understand what this is all about. Um, to me, you know, but that was just my take on it. If I'm telling you wrong, then you know, or saying wrong the way that you understood it, is that the way you understood it as what was going on there?
Well, yeah, I think that I'm sure there's hundreds, if not maybe thousands of people. I mean, we're a pretty small community in a way, but that have accepted Jesus Christ through this. I think
Right.
that normally that people that would not have done that, couldn't deny the changes, and I think there's a lot of people that have woken up to that. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's people that would have never ever read the Bible that's reading the Bible now. And 9 times out of 10, if you're a person with a conscience and I just feel like if you have that you're a curious person, you start reading the Bible, you're going to either 9 times out of 10 you're going to convert. I mean, I think because a lot of the people that are not religious at all, I don't think they've read much of the Bible and they don't have much understanding of life. I
Sure,
mean,
man. I mean, you see people commenting on the Bible sometimes that have admittedly never read it, and that's something like, well, hey, I hated that book, Gone with the Wind. Oh, I never read it, but yeah, I can't stand it, man. It's ridiculous. It's not true. It's a lie.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm seeing it everywhere. It's just unbelievable that I mean, like I was saying earlier, if you can acknowledge that there is a dark side, okay, to me that's acknowledging that there's a hell, but somehow they've twisted that all the way around to that's not acknowledging anything. Still, I don't understand that way of thinking. I just really don't get it, man.
Well, there's certain, and there's run-of-the-mill Satanists, I think, that believe this, but they ultimately don't have much power. But there's people in these secret schools and Jesuits and everything else, I'm sure that, from what I understand with the Albert Pike prophecies, they call them prophecies, but it was really just a plan. I think Albert Pike was a 33-degree Scottish Rite Freemason that wrote I think it was the late 1800s, that wrote a book called Morals and Dogma, and he explained how World War I would play out and how World War II would play out and who would the players would be, and as well as World War III. So people that were maybe laymen's to that said, hey, this guy's a prophet, but I see it as more of a plan, more of an orchestrated plan. And a lot of his ilk believe that Lucifer was the good guy and God was trying to hide knowledge from mankind. And I don't know, I'm not very well versed in that, but
Right.
that's a deception right there. I mean, if you're really honestly totally believing that and you're brought up in these secret societies believing that, that's what you believe. So you really believe that Lucifer is the good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that. And the scary part is those are the people that are the controllers of our world.
Oh, I know it's plumb awful. Listen here, Stonebender. I'm going to go about 5 more minutes with you. I have a
Sure.
prearranged appointment with the Wakened Saint, but this conversation is awesome. I love where it's going. When do you think that me and you can plan out an actual hangout with people get notifications the day before and we can get a few people in here, like
Sure, man. Let's
20
see.
or 30 people, and me and you can actually talk, and people can see we can this is a good conversation. I hate to end it, but my word's my word, and I have to go over here to Awaken Saints
That's all
channel.
right, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate this so much. I'm really honored by you having let me come on here. And I'm on East, um, probably anytime, really after 7 p.m. Anytime on Sunday, even during the day.
All right, you
Maybe
want to
like
do this at
after afternoon.
what about tomorrow night at about 9 o'clock, which is an hour and a half before it's 10:30 here right now is what time it is, and it looks like Reggatto even just dropped in.
Man, I would love to, except I have to babysit my grandson
Okay.
on Saturday nights now.
Okay, well,
And
how about Sunday night? It don't matter to me. Whenever's good for you. Of course, now that me and you have our hangout hooked up, we can text back and forth to each other, and I'm not going to be, going crazy with that to where it's dinging constantly and
oh, that's all
bothering
right.
me.
Yeah, send me a couple so I know they come through. Just say hi. And anytime after 2 on Sunday would be great. I'd definitely be up for that.
Okay, cool, man. Regado, can you hear me, brother? Are you in here?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Hey,
Thanks,
I've already.
Brandon. I'm gonna head out now. What's
All
going
right.
on,
So
Regato?
I can't really hear him that good. Hey, have you a good one,
I can hear.
brother? It's good to talk to you,
Take
Regado.
take it easy, bro.
All right, see you, man. Regado. When can me and
Mhm.
you get together tomorrow or the next day? Because I've been on for almost an hour and I have another live stream that I'm supposed to be doing with somebody else on Awakened Saints channel.
Yeah, I am. I'm not really sure. It's very strange though, because I just got the notification now, but
You're
I haven't
kidding
gotten a
me.
lot of. Yeah, it just
Wow.
just came in 2 though, and I looked through all my emails and everything. I looked up spam folders, and it literally just popped in about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So it's just an anomaly. It happens all the time.
Well, I don't know that it's an anomaly, man. I mean, I feel like that someone's trying to keep us two from talking. I
Well,
swear.
yeah, that's kind of an anomaly. I mean, it's that thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. I mean, me and you have a lot of agreements on I mean, just what's going on with the way things are going on with this whole world. There's something. Seems like a lot of people are demonized, and I truly agree with you on that.
They're devils. You know.
I totally agree that I mean, at the very least, they're being oppressed and maybe even demon possessed, and they don't even know it.
Well, it seems like they do know it. It seems like they know it before you ask them anything. And I've tried this over and over again. I did do one video where I went inside a church, or I went to a church, and people were just rejecting me left and right, left and right. I think it was about 15 or 16 people on that video. It's called Awake. But I mean, off camera, some of the things these people do, like blessing you, and then a few minutes later saying, "I take that blessing back," bringing up music. Yeah, it's comedic, but it's wicked.
Yeah, what I mean,
They're
what
all
kind of
wicked.
Christian does that? I ain't never even heard of nothing like that.
Well, it's some form of something deeper. Something about this whole thing is, for instance, if you look at people's names, that is revealing in itself. But have you noticed that people seem to have like blasphemous names? This first came about probably about like a year ago, and I was talking about this pastor who was saying that people that saw the Mandela effect were deceived, and that was the great deception. And as I'm making the video about how ridiculous this sounds, the pastor calls the people idiots, like that language at church. So I'm calling all this stuff out, and then one of my commenters wrote to me and said, "Look at his name," and I said, "It's Mark B. Lawless." He said, "Yeah." I said, "No." Now I got that. Are you for reals? Are you serious? Mark of the Beast Lawless. His name, first, middle, and last. Then I started noticing other things. You know what I mean? Everybody's name. In fact, even going back to my foster mom, her name was Minerva. And just the other day, I heard a documentary. on a couple different names of Moloch and Lucifer and Satan, the different dialects, but one of them was Minerva. And then
Oh,
you've got
really?
even,
Huh.
even big like Trump. His name in the middle is, what is it? Christ, right? Christ Trump, right?
I don't even know his middle name, to be honest about it.
Oh, go ahead and look it up. His mother, and I believe his mother's name is Mary Ann. His father's name is something Christ Trump, and his mother's name is Mary Ann.
You're kidding me. Wow.
Did you not? Even a piece of, even the person that even look, just going on right now. There's this guy that he advertises that he can attract customers to a business, and he's walking around. He's so successful. He's living by the beach. He's shooting hoops, right? And his shirt says "marked." So that's a little
Wow.
less shallow, but it tells you something. Like this could be that it could be like something in the form of the spirit or something. Because I'm seeing this stuff, I'm like, this is pretty obvious, right? Like I get it. You're successful, but the markings and stuff. Do you not see that? That's on you. It's like you. It gives away how they really got their success. That's what it does. But it
Yeah.
also tells all these people have different stories. Like you got like people like what Anthony Weiner, right? And the Podesta and their whole that whole child molestation thing.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
just all across the board. These names, they all mean something. That's a whole other thing that came after I saw the effect, but now it's very strange.
Well, Reggatto, I have to go over here to Awakened Saints channel, but I want to get back with you too. Now that we have our invitation set up through the Google Hangouts, do you want? I mean, do you have to work tomorrow? Or are you off work tomorrow? Would you be down to talk to me again?
Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday. I don't care what day or what time. I want to get you on here and talk to you because I truly believe that you maybe understand something that a lot of people are just not getting, man. I mean, really.
I don't understand how they don't get it either. But I mean, for instance, I don't know. I think I've ran into the guy you're talking to a couple times, and I never ran into him, but I think I questioned him on his name one time. You know what I mean? And
Right, right,
it just seems something like something Masonic or something like that. You know what I mean? But I can't really tell. But even
right.
I went on another person's show. His name was Jason Christopher.
Oh man, I actually listened to that. He's got totally different beliefs than what you have. I'll tell you that.
Well, I had to argue with him, right? Because
Yeah, you did argue with him, man. I mean, good for you.
he was trying to go into this whole "you are God" thing, but he's Luciferian.
Oh, I
That's just
totally believe that. I don't listen to his channel, and I don't care if people unsubscribe to me or not by saying that because I don't. I won't. You know.
they like to their type. They like to coexist next to you, knowing that you know, and they know who you are that you know, and then they like to go into these conversations just like nothing's going on, and then they battle you out in front of an audience. I
Yeah.
swear it's the weirdest thing, but I've ran into so many of them that were they they won't try to avoid. They like come straight up to you, request to speak with you, and you do a whole talk, and then after you leave, they drop a 666 on your comment line or a quick little double ears or double sign.
Oh yeah.
It's so bizarre, but yeah, I'm free all weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, man. What I'll do is I'll drop you a hangout tomorrow. I mean, I get up sort of early here, and you're on a different time schedule than I am. So I'll just drop you a hangout, or not even a hangout, just a hey, man, what's up? And me and you will talk tomorrow, and just set up a time between me and you, whatever works tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm gonna if you want to message me on a Facebook, that'd be easier. I mean,
Facebook,
not as far as the Hangouts. Do the Hangouts this way where I could get a hold of you. But on
right?
Facebook, send me a message so that I could send you some photographs of some demons that
Okay.
I've actually caught like in the photograph. But you have to. I know this is. I go from like 0 to 60 really fast.
That's fine,
That,
man.
and I will show you, and it will freak you out.
Hey man,
This
I
is like
totally believe you. I mean, I can't hardly even relate to the people that's in this world anymore. It's so strange, and I'm the most I don't know. I used to get along with everybody and just click with anybody I met. If I wanted to, talk to that person or be friends with that person, it was an easy thing to do, man. But anymore, it's just so weird. I can't even relate to them.
They're a different form of creation, and they could see something in you that you can't see in yourself because you're barred from it. And when they see it in you, they duck and run before you can even bring anything up, and then they get suspicious. Now, if it's somebody that you've known for a long time, they'll get cancer or something, and they'll just have to be out of your life. That happened to my grandmother. My grandmother, foster grandmother, she a different one because I went through so many. She got cancer within a year. Cut all her hair off.
Oh, wow.
Moved to a different area, still here close by. I went to visit her and tell her about the changes. She laughed, and then she said, "Yes, I've always heard of Alice in Wonderland syndrome." And I said, "But you just chuckled. What do you mean?" She got real serious, and she said, "It's always been like that." And then
Okay.
I told her about tidy cats changing from cats to cats because she has tons of cats, right? And then she says, "Well, it's always been tidy cat." And then it changed in a week. It did like a flip flop. It went to tidy cats. I went back to her. She didn't remember the conversation we had, and she said, "It's always been tidy cats." So she went to that, and that she went to, "I'm moving back to Connecticut in a couple of months. Goodbye." And before she left, she sent me a photograph, and the photograph was of the Wendy's sign that had changed, the Mandela thing. She said, "Riva, look at this. This sign's changed." And I said, "Now wait a minute, because I'm very good at deciphering messages and things, and I have some sort of sense of what's going on. Now I don't know for sure everything, but I know that there's something out." Looked at the photograph, and then I flipped it upside down, and then I saw what this thing really is. Like I saw this thing as that person in the spirit. So it's this, you know what I mean? It's like, I guess you could just describe it as a creature or something, man. But
Right.
I send it to you. But I flipped it upside down. I said, "Now, Linda, who is this?" And she never answered.
Well, Reggatto, let me tell you what, I will definitely do that. I'll get on there. I don't know that we're friends on Facebook, so I may have to. I don't know how all that works. So I'll probably send you a friend request or something. But it'll be like, I think it's B Hall. So that'll be what you'll see. But I'll do that tonight as soon as I get off with Awakened Saint. But man, it was awesome to talk to you, and I really want to talk to you more. And just hear some of the things that's going on, because you seem to have an outlook on this that a lot of people just ain't seeing, man. They just really ain't seeing it.
Yeah, I had the past years. So we'll get on it. I'll hear from you tomorrow, man.
All right, man. Have you a good night, and God bless you, brother.
You too, man. Bye.
All right, see you. All right, guys. This was my show for tonight, the Brandon Halsey Show. Everybody, I'd just like to say I'm heading over to Awakened Saints channel. If you hadn't been over there before, it's a wonderful channel, a wonderful guy, and I had a pre-engagement with him. I didn't realize that this was going to go this long. I didn't think it would, honestly. And somebody's trying to keep me and Reggatto apart. We've been trying to talk for a while, and surprisingly, Stonebender, man, he's very insightful. He loves the Lord. I'm going to have him back on here, and we're going to talk some more about that. So, guys, trust your memories. Trust your memories. And this was Brandon Halsey bringing you one more Mandela Effect live stream. For my Christian audience and my unchristian audience, I love you all. Goodbye.